What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We appreciate you being here. Today's video is going to be very interesting. We've got Riley's older brother here.
What's up?
So we're going to be all over the place, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you've got me and Ryan here.
It's a bad combination.
Definitely a bad combination. But
and I'm just going to sit here.
But before we get into that, no, your job is to direct the conversation.
Yeah. Keep us afloat.
But listen, before we get into that, everybody, Ryan has an awesome Amazon business that I've been a customer of for a year and a half, 2 years now. You guys know I've always sitting at my desk to work on videos, to be doing trading, to be doing whatever I'm doing. The seat cushions make a big difference. So it's a seat cushion. How do you describe it?
Memory foam sciatica seat cushion to get rid of that pressure off the sciatica nerve.
For sure.
And then the memory foam lumbar support.
Check it out. So you've got great reviews on Amazon. Oh, yeah. You're slinging units.
Yeah.
So
people love it. I mean,
and you hooked us up.
I sat on one to drive you guys down here.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so
you got a discount code for us? Maybe a link, a specific link that they can use?
We'll set it up.
We'll put it in the description. Wherever you're listening or watching, we'll hook you guys up. So I think where we can start, like I was just saying, is maybe you giving a little backstory, because what we're going to probably keep today's conversation focused on is transformation, change.
Yeah.
I think like trying to do more with your life, do bigger things with your life.
Yeah.
And you got to surround yourself with people. And it just happens to be that, you know, me and Rylee ended up together, but me and you also like each other as friends separate. Even when me and Rylee weren't dating. Interesting. Yeah. We could talk about that. When you and me used to go out.
Transformation, just the two of us.
You and me used to go out when Rylee was working.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But what always drew us together was like, I think
the hustle.
Yeah. Our like curiosity for life and things like that, but also that we are looking for more, wanting more out of our life, wanting more money, more freedom, more time, more things to do, more things to enjoy. So
we're doing it right now.
Give everybody backstory, bro. Tell them a little bit about you.
Well, I think like a big in this transformation piece of what kind of brought us together would start like military. So I did 5 years active duty in the Air Force. Good time. And then from there had a little limbo period. But in that, I think what's important, even back to that, is I started to I wanted to get into business somehow, some way. I wanted to make extra money. And so while I'm in the Air Force, I started a quick little photography thing. I was slinging some photos on the beach. Right. A lot of work, man. Right. A lot of work. I was sweating. I was like, there got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to do this.
Were you involved?
Did you wear a fanny pack?
I had like a shoulder pouch thing, right?
Were you involved in this at any point? I don't know.
His photo business?
Yeah.
No, okay. Like this was short-lived.
That was a one-man job.
But the hustle was there. The hustle was there.
Like, all right, I need some extra money. Let's do this, right? I had my first place. I'm all by myself.
Yep.
We had a family friend that was slinging stuff on Amazon. He was always selling stuff, but now he's saying he's getting into
what was he selling?
Barbies, Star Wars. I mean, dude, people have massive collections.
And what, he was just buying the
Barbies
collections
and
from
Star
people?
Wars, brand new in the box, bro, from the 80s.
And he was buying the collections and flipping them on Amazon?
People need money, so they sell this collection for $10,000. He buys them up. Now he's slinging it for whatever, right? He's tripling his money.
Can you give me like a context of how much money he might make? You mean like put 10 in, he might flip it for profit of 20
it depends on the doll, right? Because you might spend $4 on one doll,
toy.
and that doll sells for $100.
Depends on the
product. Or it might
product.
sell for 20.
Got it.
Okay, depends.
But he was
on what
making
the doll
money.
Was.
He was turning money over.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's saying Amazon's doing all the work for him.
And this was interesting to you?
Oh yeah, because this was like on a ski trip. I'm still in the military. I'm making like this many
no
extra
money.
Yeah,
Let's call it no money.
Yeah.
So you saw this and you were like, yo, this might be an out.
Yeah, he's saying how much he's like, potential bringing. I mean,
were you watching any Gary Vee or anything at this time?
This was before.
So this is just you kind of looking for something.
Dude, I didn't know, I didn't know anything about business. When I started that photography thing,
really?
I was like out of like, okay, I need some extra money.
Right.
I'm going to try to be adventurous, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know dick about business.
Right.
And I didn't even, so I was like, I want to sell stuff on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to Walmart and buy some toys, because that's how he taught me like what he was doing, right? You could go to buy a Walmart, buy
this is in the early days of flipping stuff on Amazon.
You could go buy a toy from Amazon, from Walmart for $5 and sell it for $25, $30.
Right.
Like, sweet, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even having to fulfill it. Like, it was like, oh, this is interesting. So I go on Amazon, try to figure out, I'm like, oh, I need a business. Oh shit. So I like started to figure out, well, how do I get a business? Right. Oh no, I need a business bank account.
Got it.
So I call Wells Fargo. I don't mean to plug them, but whatever. And
you're like, yo, I need a business bank account.
I want a business bank account.
How old are you, kid?
Do you have a business? I'm like, no. So I'm like, we got to register business accounting. Oh shit. So I Google this is how the process started.
Yeah.
No education or nothing. No one guided me. Like, this is how you do it.
So you set up the LLC.
So got all that started and started doing the toy thing. And then I started to realize, well, I'm tired of shopping. Right. I had some help for sure. Mm-hmm. And it's like there's got to be a way to scale this. Now I'm really starting to think more business.
You putting in
more books
less
of
work.
like,
You got to be doing less work.
I'm like, I need to do this with less work.
Yeah.
But how can I scale? I'm only one person. Whoever's out, like, and picking toys out, I'm relying on Walmart, right? So I looked into private label. And it means like you find a good product or whatever, and you brand it, rebrand it, build it up. So it's like big on the marketing end. And I took a course on how to do that. And, shout out the courses. Like, for real, that one helped me big time. And
how much did you pay for the course?
$400. Yeah, $400.
Okay, keep going.
I got in that community, real good community. Everyone
Where was the community?
Online. Facebook.
Just talking to people
we
that were all
have
doing...
like group calls or whatever.
Got it.
Share cameras, Google Hangouts or something like before. Like,
sounds so familiar, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how that shit works, but it's true.
It works.
Went to like actual seminars in Orlando, Florida.
That's it, bro.
So this community of online Amazon sellers, everyone helping each other out, and started to learn how to make products. So I started to look into manufacturing. What do I want to sell? Or, this.
How did you end up on seat cushions? I think Rylee did play a part in that, didn't you? Having you helped him come up with products?
No, not the seat cushions.
Got it.
Yeah, the seat cushions were. So I just started to realize on Amazon. Well, one, I was sitting at a desk as I'm trying to grow this online thing.
You're like,
right?
damn, my ass hurts.
My dude, I got a bony ass, right? Like, it hurts. And so seat cushions were always coming up, and I noticed that everyone was buying a seat cushion lumbar support together.
Right.
But no one was selling it together.
Oh, so you were like, boom, hole in the market.
Like, let me put that together and sell it cheaper, right? Give back to the people. Like, wow, they're overpaying, man. We just got to put this together.
Ryan Bogdan, a man for the people.
Yeah.
Sound like you're running for mayor.
Yeah, no, but
you get a seat cushion.
Right, everyone needs
it. Cushion.
Yeah, better posture for all. Like, hold on, throwback though. So it does line up because if we all knew, I used to drive a Buick. And the only reason I got that Buick is because I had good lumbar support. That was before I got into that.
R.I.P. to Buick.
I was just going to say R.I.P. to the Buick.
There's a story to that with Ryan involved. Huh? We don't want to go down that one.
That would take us on a hard left turn. We'll save that for a different conversation.
Yeah.
So you're hustling on the Amazon stuff.
Let's not forget we're siblings, right?
Start to finish, when you got the course for $400 to then selling the first seat cushion, how long of a time period are we talking?
Well, I was selling other things before. The seat cushion just have to be the silver.
So, okay, let's talk about...
towels, I was selling peach floats, I was selling matcha.
Maybe this is a better question. How about start to finish from the first dollar invested into the business? When did you actually have a profitable month? How many months did that take?
Not many.
Nice.
No, it was quick.
What do you think led to that? Was it good product selection?
I just did everything proper up to. Like, I had the guidance to help get me there, right?
Who was the most important person that helped guide you to get there?
Well, I mean, I started this business with my dad. So, like, together, us bouncing ideas off. But, like, in terms of, like, I don't know if there was one. I mean, because then I started to collect. From that Amazon, there was this other guy that was doing well on Amazon. He had videos on YouTube all the time. And he put some big conference together. This is how I got introduced. Wow, this is all come full circle. You asked about Gary Vee. This is how I got introduced to Grant Cardone, Gary Vee.
Because they were speaking there?
They were at this event that this Amazon guy was putting on.
Right.
So, and then someone bought it, had the pre-recording. God, so many synchronicities here on that one, right? Not even trying. And the conference, the guy shared it with, like, we bought it off him, and, whatever. But, and I saw these guys on stage and talking about getting better, doing business and all this. And I was like, oh man, I remember like sitting in my living room in Florida. This is when I used to live down here when I was in the military. This is all like, I was still in the military. And seeing all this, like, oh wow, man, these people, like there's something behind this. Like, they see inside of how a business person operates. Like, and hear them talk on stage, because I didn't listen to anything like that before. Right. All I had was this Facebook group. Right. So now I'm seeing like bigger picture. And so that started like down the rabbit hole.
It's interesting that you remember that moment.
Yeah. No, I did. Because
definitely a turning point.
Yeah, big time.
Because you were like, oh, this is way bigger than I thought it could be.
Yep. Because then even to get into the video stuff of how I was helping you with pictures and stuff more is from Gary Vee. I got introduced. Casey Neistat was on Gary Vee's show.
And then you started watching his vlogs.
Yeah.
And you just love the way he edited. And that just,
Yep.
You know how many people probably were inspired by him?
Yeah.
A lot of people, bro.
Kara and Nate were.
I was. To an extent, I think he inspired so many people. Yeah. The way he edited, the way he cut his videos, it was just so easy to replicate and tell the story well. It's interesting. When he was going through this period of trying to get Amazon going, at what point did you come back into his life, really? When it was already popping.
3 years into it.
Right, so it was already popping.
Yeah. Like, I only ever really heard about it from our dad.
Got it.
Because Ryan and I didn't really talk.
Yeah, we didn't talk much.
When you were living in Florida, was it hard to maintain the business when you went from Florida back to PA?
No, it was easy. Because online, nothing changed. Just had to change where to register the business.
So what is the hardest part about being in Amazon because a lot of people like
Yeah,
listening
it's
to this
just-
are probably
Yeah, well,
a lot of people listening probably like look to Amazon as a similar out like real estate where they're going to be like, oh, once I make some money trading or I make some money here, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into Amazon. I'm going to start selling stuff on Amazon. I think it's still a hot thing.
yeah.
It ain't what it seems, right?
It's not what it seems, man. Amazon's definitely
So
tough.
tell us about some of the dark stuff.
Dark stuff.
How about when they just changed your images?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if we're going to
that's
talk.
one thing.
Right. Yeah. So while selling on Amazon's great, I don't have to, I don't have
It's
to.
a beautiful thing. You're online. The business is online. You
look,
can, like I just said, you can travel,
Yeah.
move, and not
Yeah.
right.
Everything.
100%.
I'm sending everything to them, right? But there's definitely some downsides for sure. Like
Right.
they're in control. You're on their.
Well, I got a great starting
Spaceship.
point. How did Corona impact you?
I mean, people started to shift to home.
So it helped sales,
Yeah.
but how
for
about
sure.
the back end of your business?
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Shipping was still good.
Nothing changed.
You were able to still push.
Yeah, I
units
don't know
through?
how. The boats, it's essential, right? We had to bring goods in.
It's amazing.
So the boats are still
So
running.
even through coronavirus,
Yeah.
this is almost like a recession-proof, a coronavirus-proof
I mean,
business.
it's online business, right?
Any online business, we
Yeah.
did okay.
Yeah.
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 So, what are some of the big drawbacks of selling on Amazon? Would you say?
That they're in control.
I'm just curious.
Always.
Because I have this idea of something that I'm
Yeah.
going to sell.
They're in control always.
When you're
Always.
only selling through Amazon, they're in control.
Yeah. If you're using their fulfillment.
Meaning you're using
Yeah.
one of their warehouses
Yep.
to ship your
So
stuff.
I send my stuff to their warehouse and then it ships out. That's how you get the prime check, unless you have some really good
Right.
seller fulfilled
Right,
stuff.
right. And you need the prime check.
Yeah.
Because you said this to us a lot. Like you got to stay at the top of the page. You got to kill the
Yeah.
review. You got to have
Yeah,
killer
that's where,
reviews. And
like,
if you
Amazon-
drop off, the algorithm is something like
Yeah,
for
you get
guys
punished.
listening, he had to like when Corona hit, his sales spiked, doubled, right? Basically.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So when they doubled, he's trying to figure out how do I raise my price, drop my price to still stay at the top of the algorithm.
And
That's
still
tough.
be relevant. Yeah.
That's tough. That's an interesting
and
problem
you're balancing
to have.
supply and demand, right? You're selling a physical product. You only have so much inventory, but you're trying to maximize.
I think
your
that's
return.
I think
right?
that is one of the biggest drawdowns.
Yeah.
I would call that scalability too, just
Yeah,
because
it
you can
is.
only hold so many units in storage and stuff like that. So
No, for sure.
scalability is a big thing. And then I feel like the only other drawback, the third punch that I have to Amazon business stuff, it's like, where do you go next? Like you've had the big thing right now. I know you have your other business we're going to get into in a second, but like, what's the next product? That's a hard.
It's tough because
it's risky.
that's where it goes.
Talk
down
about the products you've lost money on. What
Yeah.
about all those things, those floaties that are up in that guy's warehouse, the
Right,
car dealer?
Right, peach emoji, RIP.
Right. Like
Yeah.
he bought all these peach floats and he's storing them up
I
at
was
some
my
dealership.
idea. You think it'd be a good one? Everyone knows that you want a peach float.
Yeah, if you want a
emoji.
peach float, we've got hundreds of them.
Yep.
Literally.
Yeah. Looks like a butt. It's funny.
So a lot of failed product ideas.
Yeah.
That happens. That's
It happens.
yeah.
You gotta
it's the cost of doing
Well,
business.
that goes back to we want to talk about transformation and mindset. Taking risk is a huge part of it.
Definitely.
You have to.
how have the downsides of Amazon forced you to focus on your other business?
Well, control.
Meaning you feel
Yeah.
like you have no control when you're working with Amazon and you
Not
have
as
more
much as I do
control
as I
when you have
feel.
your other business.
Yeah, and impact, right? Like
Person
I
to
don't.
person impact.
Yeah, because I love people.
People, yeah.
And when you're selling to someone online, and then you never, other than how many people? Yes, I have great reviews.
Yes, you are helping sciatica pain.
Right.
You are good for the
Yeah, but like-
sciatica
but that's
society of the
forget-
world
they're
is
not
going to
remembering
award you or
at the
something.
funeral. At the, I mean,
No.
they're not coming to your funeral,
No.
right? Like they don't care about who, So impact is, and that's through transformation and self exploration. You start to realize those types of things.
I feel like part of the overwhelming sensation that a lot of people get when they think about change and transformation is that planning can be so intimidating. So it's interesting that your job now requires you to walk people through a lot of planning.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which is forcing them to change and transform, to lay out the transformation almost
Yeah.
over time. You know what I mean? That's what the plan really is.
Yep.
Do you find that people are stubborn to that, to the idea of like, let's plan ahead, let's lay out your transformation, let's lay out your change?
Some are,
Yeah.
right? I think everyone has different personality types. Some people, either they don't want to face their insecurities when it comes to certain topics, right? And so that's why they push away from it.
Sure.
Or they're just they're not ready for it yet.
When you say they don't want to face their insecurities, like what do you mean? Because I have a different, I want to hear your explanation first, and then I have a different way maybe of explaining it.
Well, when you're talking about people's money, I mean,
So money's a big insecurity for people for sure.
For sure, right?
Yep.
And
We
so
both-
when you
we both
yeah.
run into that problem in
Yeah.
different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're talking about money, I mean, there's a lot of insecurity there. Am I doing enough?
What are you
I should've
insecure
started
about?
Nothing.
Do you find anything else other than money is something people are insecure about? I know a lot of your conversations are financial.
Yeah. Well, weight. right?
Yeah.
Weight is something.
Are they insecure about their future? Is that why they're not willing to want to plan because they don't feel secure in what the future could be?
The unknown, right? I don't know what to do, so if I just don't think about it,
it won't happen.
I don't have to worry about
it. Right.
Just
Stick my head in the sand kind of thing.
Right. I'd rather hold on to the grenade and let it blow up and then worry about my hand being gone rather than just
I can think of a bunch of things where I've done that.
Yeah.
You did that with hot yoga almost, kind of.
Yeah, come on, let's not talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? But we all do that. We're all... Can you think of anything?
Yeah.
Where you've done that? Where you're just kind of sticking your hand blissfully ignorant, like, don't tell me about that. I'll see if it becomes a problem, I'll deal with it then. And if it doesn't, then we're fine.
Yeah, transferring colleges 4 times.
How?
I did that all on my own. All the paperwork, all the everything.
Look,
like,
I want to prop Rylee
help.
up for that for a second because look, older bro, you think she would have some guidance? I'm like, Ry, she came to school for me. Like, Ry, I need you to tell me if this is a good school.
This
like,
we need the production crew.
And was just like, yo, I'm doing this, and they're like, okay, figure it out.
We need the production crew to zoom in on me right now. Okay, Ryan still, even after Rylee graduated college, still called Rylee to schedule his classes. Like, for real.
That goes down to I need an assistant. So anyone wants to hop on that train, please, because I couldn't even remember to schedule hot yoga this morning.
Well, let me get us back on track a little bit here, so we can talk about that. So Ryan's been saying lately how he needs an assistant as his business is growing. Amazon business, I wouldn't say you've put that on the back burner, but you've got it to a point where it's generating revenue, it's profitable, so it's growing, it's doing what it's supposed to do, it's helping you and your dad pay off things that you need to do. So that's good. So then the other side of the business, there's way more scalability. There's way more room for growth. Mm-hmm. Is that the main thing that attracted you to working with the company that you work with now and being in the career that you're in? How would you describe, too, for everybody watching, describe it the way that you'd like to, the career that you're in?
Well, high level, I help people with money.
Yeah.
Right? But it is in a particular area planning at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Have you told people what your other job even is in this podcast?
No, because
he has to be careful with compliance.
Yeah, it's just weird, right?
It. Okay.
Like, I help people with money in terms of whatever that means to them.
How about this? We could say as of today, which is
people are probably going to turn that into an ASFX conspiracy. Like, ooh, Rylee's brother does something secret with money.
No, it's very good. I can say it's in life insurance, right?
Yeah,
so there's life insurance involved, and I have other partners I can say that to where we can help people in terms of planning.
Could you say your title as of today?
Yeah,
September 5th?
Financial representative.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, so it's all good. I mean, it's with a Fortune 100
sell life insurance,
company.
You do planning.
Yeah.
You're growing, and in that career, you have a lot of growth to get us. We were talking about today at the gym.
A couple tests away from being an advisor.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then there's that principal exam that some people have to take. I heard that thing is hard.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
Remember Logan was taking that test. We should have questioned Logan on that on the podcast about the test that he failed like 4 times. He was taking some exams. Sorry to blow your shit up, Logan, if you're watching this. But he failed it 4. It's hard. It is that. Logan's smart. Everybody liked the video with Logan. They know Logan's smart. It is hard, bro. It's no joke.
Yeah, more of the people intelligence. Yeah.
So, in the world of financial advisement, financial representative, I guess I would just call it like in the world of financial planning.
Mm-hmm.
The main insecurity being money. How do you help people get over that insecurity? What's the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you that?
Questions.
You ask them questions?
Pointing at it.
Just pointing at it as what?
Yep.
What does that mean?
This sounds like something you haven't thought about.
Pointing to them, making them feel almost bad, but not bad.
Right.
That they haven't confronted this problem yet, which is the problem being that they're insecure with their money.
Or whatever, just planning in general.
Got it.
Sometimes you're talking about someone's death.
Got it.
Right? What are you going to do? What are you going to leave behind for your family in terms of legacy, right?
And they don't
I've
even
mentioned
want to talk
legacy
about
a couple
that.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you put someone in the corner, it's like it's not a scary corner, but I mean, it can be for some, but like if legacy is important to anyone in terms of building something that's going to last longer than themselves, life insurance. Can we be real? Life insurance becomes a big part of that.
100%. I can't really mess with the people that say they don't want to leave something for their family.
Right. Like I don't either. Like
there's some people we know. I don't care if they're watching. Weird. It's crazy. Yeah. Like, are you sure you want to be with that person? Like, you should think about what you're building. Yeah. Think about you only have one life. Are you going to commit that life to, maybe you are committing it to just eating cheese curls and just living, bro. Like, you're living. Like, you don't care how you look. You're just living. And you're going to die.
It's all right, but like.
But not us.
No.
I think not people that are looking for more, looking for like what we said at the beginning, that bigger life. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
people
Rylee and I, no one knows our last name.
Right.
And I think both of it, like, I've had the idea for a while, and I think with everything, like, well, I'll be able to keep the name.
What do you mean nobody knows our last
he means
name?
like, it's not like
a big name.
It's
right?
not like.
I'm like, wait, I think they all know my last name.
No, yeah, but okay, I'm thinking bigger than that, right? Like, there's
I
no,
get what you
there's no
mean.
lineage.
Your name isn't on a building out of college.
It's not popular.
There's no lineage behind it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no shout out to my family, but like we're just
No, for sure.
hardworking family.
Well,
right?
you two are like
Yeah.
really the
Yeah.
first ones to. What are you two the first to? You have to be top first 5 to graduate college.
In our immediate family,
Yeah.
Riley's the first.
I'm the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our like semi-distant family, one of
Damn,
our
bro,
uncles,
she beat you like that, bro.
Yeah, but that's good.
Damn,
I'm so proud of
bro.
her, dude. So proud of her.
One of our uncles went to college.
Hey,
but I
wait,
don't
be
know
proud of
how
me. I'm
far.
helping pay it off. But for real.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I said one of our uncles went to college, but I don't know.
So still, you're
if
top
he
3.
Just got his associates or.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But he's
fine.
only our half uncle, so whatever.
I don't even know who you're referring to in this very second. But
So
it's
he's
fine.
not even
We got a
family at
lot
this
of
point. He's been
uncles.
disowned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So you guys being like that first push out of higher education to set your
Yeah.
family.
So legacy to me is like, well, this
Huge.
is like, let's do something.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do something.
What do you think about when you think about that?
Just.
Do you want to have like your name on a building someday?
No, I don't know that, but you
Yeah.
know, it's weird as we were talking about this because I mentioned you guys like it's cool that you guys have this and you're putting this out because like grandkids are going to be able to watch it, great grandkids, like you know, you're putting out media.
You're gonna be able to watch it because I take an hour to edit this
like
4K
hi,
video.
like hey, I'm an uncle of yours, some far distant, right? Like
You're welcome for the 4K.
yeah, we future proof there.
No,
That's
they're
what
gonna
I'm
be like,
talking
why isn't this in VR? Why can't I just put
I
my
know.
contact
But
in
wait,
and watch
finish your
this?
point.
Yeah.
Finish your point.
That legacy that you're leaving behind, and even in terms of this conversation, like imagine if we had that from our great grandparents.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Like that'd be
That'd be
neat,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm trying to leave something behind like that. Like now we're literally making it.
Well,
what
listen,
I want right
we,
now.
we have
Yeah.
to then talk about the COVID stuff and how that's impacted all of us
Yeah.
because that's something that only happens every 100
Okay,
years.
wait, but before we go there, can we
Yeah.
just? I want to touch on this for
Go,
a second.
yeah,
because I
yeah.
think it's like more relevant in terms of broad terms because that
Definitely.
specifies down to
Definitely.
like time period. Yeah, it's COVID-19 people.
So
like it's
So
is what it is.
explain.
Well, because even for people like going through this, like this transformation has brought me to like this cleaner mindset. And I gotta thank Rylee and you both, right? Like, because we've all kind of gone on this journey together. But I mean, Rylee and I have been having deep conversations for the past 3 years, right? Or so.
Yeah.
Like ever since we bonded, we like formed an understanding for.
Just quick side note for those that don't know, my brother and I didn't really talk for like 5 years while he was in the military, just because I was in high school and probably a bitch, and he was in the Air Force living in Germany and different places. And then when we reconnected, we just decided to live together in Philly. So he's talking about like starting when we lived together. We started like getting to know each other because we were grown adults at that point.
Yeah, it was like I didn't even know who my sister was. Like to my head, she was still 12.
How long did it take you guys to connect?
Not long.
Nice.
Not long.
Okay, so you started on this this path of like having interesting conversations.
of the consciousness and what are you thinking? Why? Right? And
Why are you thinking?
right, what is a
What
thought?
is what is a why?
What
Yeah.
is beautiful?
Right. Yes,
Right,
that was
right.
a big
That was
one.
the symmetry in the
Yeah.
picture.
Okay. So that's like So for some context, it's not like that, right? But like COVID gave me a lot of alone time, kind of
Yeah.
transformation, a lot
Yeah.
of things going on. And Rylee told me to read this book, The 4 Agreements, and I've been sending it to people. I can
We'll put
say
the
I've
link
literally sent this book in the mail to at least 5 people.
And he's always not when he's. Oh, you've bought it and given it to people?
Yeah.
Wow,
Same.
bro, that's nice.
No,
Same.
Yeah, no, for real. It's a $6 book. Like
I've
if you
only
can-
done that with Gary
like,
Vee
This book
books.
has literally changed my life in terms of perspective. That's led to other things. Not the book in singularity, but everything like added up,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, the thoughts that it creates.
So I sent when I feel like someone is in a
So if you need a free book, just DM Ryan.
yeah, I guess I'll send one out for sure.
I'll put the link in the description
for
below
sure.
if you
no,
want to
I'm
buy
dead
it
serious. If someone from your group
Needs
I'll-
it, you'll ship it to him?
yeah, for free.
You better watch your mouth,
Yeah.
bro. I got 55,000 followers.
The
Shipping
first,
could
the
get
first
expensive.
one, that's for real.
Okay, first person
Yeah.
to DM Ryan.
Yep.
So what of the book, of the 4 agreements, what one stands out the most to you? Which one sticks to you that's like, damn, without
Be
that?
impeccable with your words, not only to others but to yourself.
What about you?
See, they're all so connected
Well, that
and
one-
built on one another.
Right.
But for me, it's probably the do your best, which I don't exactly agree with the way he worded it. I like, actually Rocky's termination. What word am I looking for?
Terminology.
Yep, thank you. Of living like your truest self, like being your truest self, because, well, you can talk first and then I'll go.
No, I mean, it's cool.
I was just gonna, because being your truest self, like if in every moment you believe that you are being your truest self in that present moment, like not only does it bring you to the present, but in being your truest self, it's like you're talking to yourself in like the most positive way because it's like authentically you. Mm-hmm. So if you're being authentically you, I think the others kind of naturally follow.
Yeah.
I like yours and yours.
I like, they all go together.
They do.
They really go together. But when you say that, I say impeccable to my words, because as this book was brought in and I started thinking this way, maybe wasn't talking to myself the best way.
Right. That's what I was going to say. That part's the most important part of that sentence.
Listening to your voice and how you say...
Because you talk to yourself way more than you talk out loud.
I'm talking to myself right now.
Right.
Right? Like, we're constantly
What
thinking.
are you saying?
Who knows?
I'm hungry.
Right?
What's for dinner?
Yeah. I'm probably thinking about food.
That's my favorite question to ask people. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, and I'm not even just saying it just because there's nothing to talk about, but it's interesting to know what is going on. Is there a chimpanzee hanging upside down brushing his teeth? Like, so clearly that was just going on in my mind right now. Like,
so the impeccable with your words brought attention to how you were talking to yourself, and then that attention.
And so like I said, it wasn't just a book, but I started to meditate, and then yoga because of you guys and Rylee, big time. 3 o'clock during COVID, what were we doing? Yoga, right? And I didn't even know yoga was stretching. I didn't know what yoga was.
Right.
What's a yoga?
You missed out, bro, because you would have done real well in like yoga classes.
Hey, look, man, I got my lady.
Hopefully, when
shout out to her.
I know, yeah. Shout out to the lady, definitely the private one-on-one yogas.
Yeah.
So the impeccable with your words brings attention to the
thought.
Yeah, to what you're saying to yourself. How does that tie into the yoga and the meditation and everything like that also helped a lot of the transformation?
Yeah, great question. Because as you're sitting there thinking about, okay, what am I saying to myself? You start to realize that there's other thoughts that aren't necessarily words, right? As you start to go down the meditation hole, right? I think it's important for people. That's another thing this dovetails all together, right? This should be taught kindergarten, right?
Yeah,
in terms
it should.
Of paying attention to thought. It's not necessarily like being impeccable with your words.
Before even thought, just breathing.
That's next level. We already know that.
That's next level.
We already know. I already started. That's the breath in through your nose,
like,
people.
Do you hear that?
In through your nose, people.
Do you hear that?
Everybody, let's just pause and take a deep breath.
Through your nose. Don't breathe through your mouth. I'm telling you, there's something to it. I've been reading into it. That's a whole.
Dr. Bogdan recommends that you tape your mouth shut when you sleep, so you can't breathe through your mouth. No. Suffocation may occur.
No, the book Breath. I gotta give it some.
Yeah, for sure.
Just been doing a lot of reading. COVID is anything for anyone that's sitting there like, oh, I want this to be over. Why don't you just take a second to look within yourself and say, how do I get better myself?
Dude, people got mad when I posted a tweet that said that. Like, people either took time to do like get better at porn, video games, and stuff, or they took the time to get a new skill.
Yeah, it's not the neglect what's going on in the world.
People were like, "No, bro, you're being insensitive." No, I'm not being insensitive. I'm being realistic. Like, people are slacking off.
No, but like there's something going on in the world for sure. We're not neglecting that. But how are you going to choose to use this time? Are you just going to sit there and stew over it, or are you going to take some time for yourself because now it's been given to you, and say, "Well, who am I?
Right.
What do I think, and why do I think that?"
What do you think has happened with the I don't mean to stay on the COVID stuff, but like, do you think it's forced more people to be like more higher vibrational in their thoughts, or has it forced more people to be more lower in the vibrations of their thoughts, or has it just widened the gap between the two groups? Like, either people are this or they are that. There aren't people that are blended as much, and then maybe they're just respectively small groups that are now far apart.
I don't know, dude.
If I was a judge, can I like smack my mallet at that question? Because I would say that none of us interact with enough people to actually have an opinion on that.
True.
We only see what's on the media.
Small sample size.
Like, how many people do you and I interact with in a week? In
I'm
person.
Guess.
Well, like, where we can truly observe.
Well, we're on a podcast where things that I say may or may not be true. It's for entertainment purposes only. So we're going to say that more...
Judge Rylee objects.
I would guess, comment if you disagree or agree, more people took the time, I think, than we would guess. More people took the time than we'd guess to get better at something than to slack off. I think the people that were slacking off already used this as an excuse to slack off even more. But the people that were wishy-washy, I think COVID could have kicked some people in the ass and been like, yo, time to get fit, time to get your shit together. Look at you. Look at this conversation. Said, yo, COVID, time to get yourself together to start reading.
Yeah.
So I think it actually made people maybe get off the fence, get off the wishy-washy.
Well, I take back half of like my mallet hammer.
Oh, here we go.
Because
Working my
we
way
did
back.
notice that yoga stuff was increasingly sold out, like more frequently.
More home, yeah.
Like a lot of the yoga stuff, even in stores. Like when I went to Five Below to get us cheap mats, like the whole
I don't mean
section.
to linger on the point, but partially I would say to that, look at what I even said about my city fitness class. I never brought a mat. A lot of people do yoga and stuff, but never even own the stuff.
Yeah.
Like I did it for a long time, and I never even owned it.
I think it's too hard to say what happened, but I think in grand scheme, I think for some that I've had experience with, it's been long enough where people had enough time to be lazy.
For sure.
And they had enough time to start to be like, okay, now I'm tired of being lazy, and they're going to do something.
I don't know, bro.
There has been.
Yeah, for some people. But I think there's still a big chunk of people
Sure.
that have used it to just be lazy.
But so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those of you that are now hearing this in this moment,
Yeah.
just as we know, or
Right.
like so many people, but Sam Harris and his meditation app, Waking Up, would just say, begin again.
Right.
In this very moment, right?
Right.
I have that one shirt that I have. It says one day or day one.
Oh, fire.
Are you going to do it one day or are you going to do it day one? And I work with interns in mindset stuff all the time. And they'll sit down and they'll say some goal and they're like, or I'm like, all right, well, how are you going to finish your day? Oh, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do that. And I go, oh, you think you're going to do it or are you going to do
Right.
it? That small shift
Big
is
deal.
huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Because back to be impeccable with your words. Man, bring it full circle.
I'm going to try to do something.
Yeah, are you going to
What are you gonna do? Well,
try or are
you're
you
not
going to
gonna do
do
it.
it?
You're not gonna do
Because
it.
if you say to yourself, I'm going to do this,
Right.
you have a way higher chance of doing it. Then
Right.
I might.
Trying is not really a thing.
No.
You're either doing it or
Right.
an attempt of it.
Right.
Trying is a stupid word when you think about it. Attempt is a better word. I'm going to attempt this. Doesn't mean that, I don't know. Trying sounds whining. It does.
It
I'm
does.
trying to
No,
do
you're right.
this, bro. I'm just trying to get this open. Can you
Yeah.
open this? I'm trying to get it open.
Yeah.
Hey man, sometimes the pickle jar is tight.
And that's, you know what, in that moment, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I just think when you're trying to, not to
When
use
you're
trying
trying to-
again, but if you want to succeed at something, whatever it is, it could be the smallest thing as getting out of bed 5 minutes earlier. Don't say you might do
Just
it.
do it
Say I'm gonna do it.
and do it.
I'm going to do it. Those words are so much different. Back to one of the agreements in this book, be impeccable with your words, because that 1% difference starts to add up.
100%.
And then before you know it, you're not only waking up, you're waking up an hour early. And not only are you waking up an hour early, you're working out.
Right.
And not only are you working out, now you're eating better. And not only are you eating better, you're going to bed earlier, getting more sleep. And all these things just start to happen slower and slower. Like they happen slowly, okay? But then it brings the whole puzzle together. And before you know it, you're waking up early, you're eating great, you feel good, you're meditating, you're reading more, and you're like, but that wasn't me
Right.
before. Like
Right.
I couldn't do one of those.
Well, we're
things.
definitely putting a lot of people onto the meditation and the yoga for
Yeah.
sure, which is good.
And journaling.
What motivates you on the days where you don't want to do anything to do it?
I know it's just a thought.
So you're just like, oh, I don't want to do it, and you're like,
I
oh,
feel
well,
it.
that
No, that
thought
goes
of,
back to
I don't-
that. That
Wait, so are you saying the thought of I don't want to do it is something that you become aware of, and you're like, oh, that's just a thought, so I could just say I want to do it, and then I'll do it?
Yep.
Yeah. That's like the thing like with the treadmill. It's like, well, or any working out, it's like you're only 40% done when you first say, oh, I'm tired.
Right.
Right. And same kind of thing. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no, there's days, but then it's okay too because I've come to just forgive and accept myself.
Oh. So it's like, if I don't,
If
it's like, all right, cool. Don't beat yourself up
Don't
over
sit there
this.
because then if
Then
you know
you-
you're tired,
Right.
and you're not going to do the work, at least
Right.
forgive yourself and just be tired and rest.
Right.
So that way you can come back.
That's like being your truest self.
Yeah.
You're not lying to yourself.
Like it's okay. I had an off day. Why did I have an off day?
Right.
Oh, I stayed up an hour longer than I usually do. Okay, now I need to fix that if I know I want to be better.
100%.
I'm going to forgive myself now because I'm not going to perform.
Shout out to me with my 38% recovery.
Yeah. And
me.
this definitely helped too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whoop
Well, I
bang.
feel like fitness alone, like fitness by itself, don't even if you're not meditating, if you're not doing yoga, if you're not doing any of that stuff, fitness alone, like just being active and maybe tracking it a little bit, can help make your decisions improve, like your decision making ability improve so much just from working out.
Because as you're meditating, doing whatever, and you're paying attention to your thoughts, you can feel and be aware of the difference of before and after.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I was in a cloudy, unmotivated mood, and I used that energy to get me to go do whatever it was, a walk, a fresh breath of air, a run, a workout, a yoga session, and then you can notice, oh, wow. The thoughts, not only do I feel better, but my thoughts are clear. I'm sharper.
Right.
I don't have that little bug in the back of my head saying, oh, I don't want to do that anymore.
Who in the office where you work is on this stuff with you?
My partner is a little bit.
How about the interns? Do you get them on it? You got them all meditating in the back closet?
Well, no, the owner of the office's assistant, she's
Oh
very
yeah,
on
that's
it.
true. Yeah, in the moment, I wasn't thinking. No, yeah, there was one.
In what way, Rylee?
She, I don't think, has missed a day
No,
of
yeah, no,
meditation
actually,
in like 2 years or something.
Yeah, shout out to her. There is a lady in my office that has been
Wow.
like
Like
900
on
days.
clockwork,
Yeah,
every day
yeah,
would
big
leave
time.
the
And
office and go meditate.
And I think hearing her, like, as before COVID, I was hearing her start talking about that, and I had been trying to do meditation here and there, but like hearing that, and then everything that we been paying attention to, it just seemed like it was something I had to pick up for real.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, we've done yoga in the office. I mean,
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
It was crazy to sit in a room where you were once like a timid, like you didn't know anything about or where you were, and now I'm doing yoga in that same room. It's weird.
Who taught the yoga?
We did watch it on Peloton.
Nice.
Shout out to Peloton for sure.
Yeah,
They're
Peloton's
crushing it.
key- yeah,
They're crushing it
keeping
on the
us in
yoga
shape.
sessions. Yeah. I'm about it. All that stuff together is like the recipe. You know what's crazy? You talk about, we had Will Smith talk at my company.
Yeah, the annual
Virtually?
meeting.
Yeah.
The annual meeting.
And he's like on this next level stuff. Like he's like already figured out this life, like this reality, right? He wants to know about virtual reality. He wants to get deeper into stuff. But as they were like questioning him, because we're all trying to like be the best in the company, right? How do we work to the most maximum efficiency and all that stuff? So that's the kind of stuff they wanted to talk to Will Smith about, right? Because he's doing all these things.
That's
like Will
crazy.
Smith, how are you doing that? And he's like, well, everyone already knows that. You wake up early, you wake out, you take care of yourself first, and then you start your day. He threw that over his shoulder like it was nothing.
Nothing, right.
Yeah, like come on, everyone knows that.
But he's been preaching that for a long time.
Right. He didn't even want to touch on it. But not a lot of people know that, right?
Yeah.
Why?
But maybe he's going by the assumption that you've been going by lately, which is that everybody's waking up and everybody's
Because it's
getting
like
on
then
it.
for the people that do already,
already know that,
and
right.
they
He
need
wants-
the next
yeah,
step. It's
exactly.
like he's talking to them.
Exactly.
Right. But that's what was interesting, because some people still need to hear it. You got to wake up early and take care of yourself before you start the day, because it doesn't then it doesn't matter what happens.
But I feel like to bring that full circle, maybe that goes as somewhat of a evidence or whatever towards your question of, are people going more towards a higher vibration during this time or a lower vibration? I feel like the people that still need to hear that, like they're raising their frequency, but they're still lower. But the people that Will is preaching to, that like need that next step, like those are the higher vibration frequency of
just on
people.
No,
some
that
weird
was not
stuff.
necessarily exactly the way that I was classifying the question. I was just
No, I
saying.
know. I'm just
Yeah.
using this conversation
I'm
as a
saying,
way
like, if
to
they-
look at that. Like clearly there's an audience for it if Will Smith
Yeah.
is preaching about it.
Yeah. Smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's but not even audience. I don't think, because I think he's over that. I think it's like awareness of what he wanted to talk about.
Right.
No, I'm not saying audience in that sense. I'm just saying audience in the sense of there's listeners out there that understand and grasp what he's saying to where it's valuable that he's saying it.
For sure. Yeah, because I got it right away. I knew exactly where he went with it. But for those that aren't even on, like, it's okay. Everyone's okay where they're at. I think you start to accept that too as you start to like pay more attention, right? It's like, it's okay. That they can't, they're just not there yet. They weren't shown. The experiences haven't led them to the experience that I'm having in this moment, and that's okay.
Right.
But for people who for us, for even, I try to do this for myself. We always feel like we want more, but I have everything in this moment.
Right.
And you start to live like that. You want to live happy? Be happy right this second. You want to live a happy life? Well, you're not living a happy life if you're thinking about all the things you can't have or don't have in this very moment.
Yeah.
I think like when you start to make those connections, you're like, oh shit, you're living a sad, miserable life. Yeah, because listen to how you're talking to yourself.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Well, like people say, happiness is a choice.
yeah. So like in the moment when I'm feeling it's because I'm talking so good to myself. I live alone, man. I sit at home on my couch with nothing on it and I laugh at myself.
So what else? Right. So you have to choose. But again, it's more of like a choice. You have to choose. Am I gonna choose to be
Yeah.
negative and let it creep up,
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna choose to be a
When
hard.
you start to learn to have fun with yourself, and not in like any weird
That
sexual
sounds
way.
sexual, bro.
I know it, because I was like, that sounds
You
sexual.
wanna have
And
fun with
whatever,
this?
you can have fun like that too, right? Whatever you're into.
2020, bro. You can have fun with anything.
You can have fun on VR apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Now we're all gonna
know what?
we're gonna
You know what?
reference having fun to masturbating on this channel now
in VR.
in VR.
You know what's funny? We say that because I've mentioned VR to two people.
Yeah.
And both, oh yeah, my friend had it. They both said that VR porn was nuts. And I'm going, man, I have had the thing and I haven't even tried that.
I wouldn't even think to look it up.
I'll tell you the truth, bro. I haven't tried it. I don't want to try it just because I'm not a big porn guy either way. But like,
What an interesting conversation.
Right, what a left
just being
turn on that.
honest.
Yeah.
but Eric tried it. Sorry, Eric. He tried. He's like, it's weird. He says you're laying there and you can see the girl, you can look around the room, like you're looking around, but behind you, it's just black. So it's like a half VR experience.
Yeah.
Listen, when I got to put on a whole suit to get into this room, and then the girl's going to be there, and I'm going to feel it when she's touching my legs and stuff, then maybe I'll check it out.
Weird, man. Hey,
Just to check it out.
But
Until then, I think I'm good.
It's weird. That just shows that people are like, listen, what the? Look,
Listen,
this is how our conversations go.
We talked about
We're
this.
crazy.
There's
This is
more
raw
people,
right here.
more dudes would rather jerk off and not be with a girl nowadays than actually try to go out and date girls. The margin was small. It was like 52 to 48%, but the bigger majority of guys were like, nah, I'd rather just jerk off.
That's big.
Got this whole, get my own little thing going on.
Because they don't want to deal with the emotions that are
100%.
tied to a woman.
And you can have all these different girls on these VR
relationship
things.
with anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
About, you know.
Yeah.
Anyone.
People are like going into like their little hermit holes. They're like, oh, I'd rather just not.
Well,
Right.
think.
Well, why if
Okay,
you
I
have-
don't mean to be dark, but like think like life's kind of hard
Yeah.
for some people. So if life is hard and you don't have a lot
Is
of
it?
money,
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah, it is. So life is hard for some people. So it's like, well, it's hard for me right now. I'm not making a ton of money. If I try to get a girlfriend, it's going to get expensive. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it depends.
For sure.
You know what?
So
Hold
they're
on.
just
Hold
gonna
on. To
jerk
pull us
off?
out.
Yes.
Hold on, to pull us
Yes.
out of that. To pull
Yes.
us out of that.
Yes. Dead ass. Yes. That's what the stats say.
That is crazy.
That's
Yeah.
majority of guys. Not by a lot.
To pull us out of that, I mean, you say, you know, life is hard for some people, for sure. But what, you know, we were just listening to Mike Tyson on Joe's podcast, and the way he described determination that was taught to him to start to love the things, to do the things that you hate to. How did he say it? Hold on, I'm totally butchering this.
You have to do the things that you hate like you love them. You had it.
Yeah. Like if you have to clean the stinkiest of toilets.
No.
Whatever.
See, I
it is.
disagree sometimes. I'm not cleaning toilets. I hire
No,
a
but
cleaning
if
lady.
you could clean, if that you had to.
Oh, if I had to.
If you had to, and you start to sing and whistle, maybe not whistle too hard. You don't want to suck nothing in.
Yeah.
But while you know you're gonna clean all the toilets,
Yeah.
right? And then it's gonna be done.
I get the point of the metaphor.
Yeah, like determination.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like devotion to something like that. Like even if it sucks, they can pull you out of some.
It's just
whatever.
perspective.
Yeah.
Your perspective on whatever the situation is controls how you feel about
Yeah,
it.
back to being in the moment. You want to live a happy life.
Just just be happy.
Yeah.
Choose to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Even if life is hard,
Yeah.
because it can get better. Life was hard for me at one point.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it is. And
I think-
through experience, but through experience is how we got to this moment,
Yeah.
right? Of having it. Like you had to learn all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So even when things are bad, if you can just take it as an experience to understand that it taught you something that makes you whatever in the next
Then
moment,
it's a good experience.
then it's just an experience, good or bad. Doesn't
I
have
look
to
at it
be
as
either.
good. Once I get something out of it, like a lesson, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Even if it hurt me like financially or whatever, like you get a lesson out of it.
Financially, emotionally, doesn't matter, right? 'Cause
Yeah, it shit heals.
Yeah.
Like money and emotions, like they come and go.
Yeah.
They do.
But if you start to identify, like, oh, I'm feeling sad in this moment.
Then you can learn a lesson from it and apply it going forward.
Yeah, but you
and-
can start to identify the feeling.
right, and
of
that's what I'm saying.
sadness.
Apply it, and then you can be better going forward from it. Right, because
What
of
are
the
your thoughts,
awareness.
Rye?
I feel like I'm just following you two back and forth right now.
Yeah, I know. So what are you thinking? Because you and I have gone deep, and you're like, and I feel like everything I say you already know and think so prevalent that you're like, this isn't nothing new to me, so you don't want to always comment because you're like, of course, yeah, duh. But like for those that don't, right? Like there's so many people that are listening to this to where I feel like this is important.
So ask me a question. Like, what do you want my thoughts on?
Whatever. I mean, where do you feel like as because I feel like for all of us, right? Like things have adapted. Like Rylee's been on some other shit, like whatever, for her whole life apparently, that I just learned about. Right? This is my sister. I don't know shit, but like things that you feel like are so, of course, right? Or your determination to always ask why, and understand. Like, where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. Why was my favorite question as a kid? Like, I just wanted to know everything because if I only have one life to live and I have a brain that can absorb the knowledge that it can and maintain it, and I know that knowledge gets you into different experiences, and then with knowledge, you can have different doors to go through. So I'm just like, let's learn as much as I can. That way I can pick what doors I want to go through in life. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. She's on some,
Did that even make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did, but to be aware of that, how as early as you were, like, look.
I feel like I've always followed my thoughts. Like, I have a memory of it from as early as like 5th grade of my best friend and I just laying in bed, and her and I would play a game like at night when we couldn't fall asleep, and we'd be like, talk about your thoughts, and like we would literally connect our thoughts, but we would speak it out loud. Or like we would practice where one of us would just say something. We'd be like, purple cloud. And then we'd be like, okay, how did you get there? And we would retrace our thoughts and like go back and just tell each other like, well, I thought of this, which thought of this, which thought of this, which thought of this. And I just feel like I've done that my whole life. Like, I feel like that's what everybody does in their head.
And now in this moment, tell me it's not different, because that's just following thoughts, getting stuck in the chain, being able to pull yourself out of that chain and watch it go by like traffic.
Right.
Right? Like you were in the car that whole time just going for a ride, and right, you just looked back in the rearview mirror. But being able to get out of the car and watch the car go by.
Well, that's like what we would do then, is
Right.
we would pull ourselves
Yeah.
out of it to then explain
Right.
it to the other person.
Right. You might have been on that, but for me, that whole getting out of the car part is kind of new.
I'm out of the car, and I'm on a jetpack.
What do you think? I mean, like, it's not like you have your conscience has been as it is, like I say, within the last year. Like,
I don't know, bro. I think mine is different because I learned a lot about myself before I met Rylee. So I think the only reason she liked me was because I knew a lot about myself, and we were already on the already on the same wavelength with a lot of that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I've always liked smoking weed too, which helps me think about my thoughts more and journal on them and think about where they come from. So I feel like a lot of the times when I try to be in the moment, I am already there, and I'm aware of that. So when I see you guys using the metaphor of like the car going by and getting out, like, that's exactly how to describe it. So like I feel like we're all at this understanding now of how important it is to be aware of those thoughts, because you can control them. And then it's even more motivating. I think that's why for me, like, I seem to you in some ways so like ahead.
wait, can
in
I
my
stop you
thought.
right there? Because I
Yeah.
disagree with the way you said that one
Okay.
part.
What part?
Control your thoughts. I don't think you can.
I think you can,
because if you
like,
can control
when I
your
say-
thoughts,
well,
that
let me
means you can pre-think what you're thinking, and you cannot pre-think what
No,
you're
you
thinking.
can't. But I can definitely choose to think certain thoughts. I can
Like,
definitely
they-
choose to think like when I'm in yoga today and I'm wobbly.
But the
I
fact that
feel
you
like
just
what-
went to yoga was
Yeah.
not your choice.
But I think
no,
what-
hold on,
that
let him
chart-
just say on
that's
that.
not, no, but the way that I said what I said to mean what I meant was that
To get your point across, I think that's different than choosing.
I think what he's trying to say more so is that he's so aware of his thoughts, he can always choose his reaction
Yeah.
to those thoughts and how he chooses to respond.
is that what I'm trying? Let me explain. What I'm saying
think
is like
so.
in a situation, if something is to happen, I can choose. Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
the
you're
best way to say
choosing
is-
your reaction.
Yeah,
like
that's
how,
the awareness.
Yeah,
part.
so I'm like, okay, I
But
could
you-
get angry
but-
right now. You feel that? You're
but the
angry.
thought that came up, like whatever did I say? A monkey
No,
hanging
you-
upside down,
no,
brushing his
right,
teeth.
right.
I didn't choose like that.
Right,
just,
but what I'm saying is the reaction. I have control over my thoughts and emotions and the reaction to things.
That's different.
That to me, I'm like, that's a skill. So I feel like I've been just practicing that and practicing that and practicing that, because my biggest weakness, like as a person, is that my mouth always got me into a lot of trouble. I would talk more than I needed to in too many different situations.
Oh, it sounds like someone I know.
So it's like, as I get older, I just get to be more aware of that, and I get to choose. And like you said, be impeccable with my words. And I read that book a while ago, so I've always like these things. They all connect, and you're like, bro, just listen to them all, and then you get to practice it. It's like every day
Dude,
is
that
practice.
right there's the coolest part.
What, practice?
When they all start to like, this
Yeah.
is one book, then this leads you to read something else that's not even related to this guy, and it's saying the same thing, and then you hear and it's all starts to say the same stuff.
I'm super individualistic about the way that I like feel about myself too, if that makes sense. Like the way I feel about my thoughts and the way I think about my thoughts and the way that I think when I talk to myself, the best word to describe it is very individualistic.
I feel like you're just aware that you are, though, because that, like, we know, like, that's one of my top 5 strengths is individualism. And I feel like it's because we are. Nobody's DNA is the same, and nobody has
tell me
these
about
same
this. Let's-
experiences in life. So you are completely
100%.
unique and individual.
Let's diagnose this. Ready? So like I was waking up for like past couple of weeks, not weeks, like 2 weeks maybe, in like the same time in the middle of the night, like 1 to 2 o'clock. And like I'd come in here and hang out. Some nights I'd smoke and maybe fall asleep. Other nights I would just stay up and get to trading. But at that moment, I've noticed when I'm up and it's quiet, the clarity that I have with my inner voice is so clear. So it
You're
makes
more intuitive
so
in
I've
the
been,
morning.
Yeah, so
yeah. It's pure because it hasn't been contaminated by all the shit from the day yet.
I can hear it's literally like I'm talking to your higher self. So it's like I feel like it's interesting. I'm so aware of my thoughts and I'm so connected to that part of myself. I think literally like it's half funny, but it's not to me. Half of me thinks that like it's like my higher self was waking me up. It's like you need to just go think. You need to, like it was trying to tell me something almost like get up and go journal, get up and go think. Because now is when I want to talk to you. So I'm like so connected to it. Sometimes I feel like it can come to me more than me just go to it.
That's cool.
It's interesting.
That's cool.
And it's weird because I pulled that dragon card the same day it all started. Mm-hmm. You have to read those.
Yeah, I gotta
cards.
check that out.
They're interesting.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. That morning, I know I can relate to the morning
that clarity.
Dude, in the morning, there's mornings that I get an hour for myself before I even touch a computer or my phone.
Bro, so I've had that every day for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think I have so many like these thoughts to myself.
Well, so I'm behind.
No, you're not.
I'm catching up.
No. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like when you have that clarity, that moment of like, oh, it's just me and me.
But that's pure.
See, I feel like it's always been that way my whole life, though. Like, no, even though I had a sibling, like it was always just me and me. Like anybody in my family knew that like I hung out in my room.
Yeah, she did. She was
like
a hermit. Dude.
Like I was very to myself. I entertained myself. Like nobody played with. That sounds sad, but like, I mean, you and I played and stuff, but
we went on bike rides.
I entertained myself. Like I wanted to be in my room with my whiteboard, with my notepads, with my books, like just in my own world. Like don't disrupt me. I want to do what I want to do and follow my own thoughts.
And then it's probably like we all probably can relate to the idea that when you get to that point where you are hearing yourself clear, especially when you're working towards something, whether it's schoolwork or even your job or whatever, and you're getting that like clarity and that flow, it's motivating. It's like, let me get more of it. It is almost like a drug. You're like, yo, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. When I get an idea for a video or a new product or a course, it's like, okay, give me more of that. Whatever I was just tapped into is giving me ideas. It's giving me the knowledge that I need.
Yeah, it's different.
So when people talk about having these higher, deeper experiences, I could totally understand how some of them are true. Especially if you're doing some trippy ass drugs, for sure. Because like I'm not even doing anything. I'm just waking up early, and my brain is weird because we don't even know about like how our brains react to sleep. That's the only thing that's weird about it is my brain was in sleep mode, and then I woke up and now I'm clear. But then it gets fogged, like you said.
I think
if I distracted with the screen or if I get caffeine in me,
this is total bro science for sure.
What?
But I think of sleep as like
Do we know if we're still recording? Just
I can see it.
Okay.
I think about like back in the day for those in like Windows 98, you had to like defrag a computer, right?
Defrag a computer.
And what that was doing was putting all the information that was gathered from the length of time that we're using it and putting it into proper holes.
Yeah.
So if sleep is like defragging your brain where it's tucks away all that information from the prior day. When you wake up, you are starting fresh.
So that's why you get that clarity.
Every experience, everything from if you stub your toe to if you're running out of toothpaste to whatever, every experience from that moment you wake up
fills a gap. The way I'm visioning it is like this.
Yep.
I have like 2 dots.
It's like getting rain on a windshield, right? Like a one drop here doesn't. You can still see, right?
Here, let me give you my analogy.
Yeah.
I was seeing it like 2 dots. When you wake up, here's your brain. Here's you waking up. This is right when you wake up. And then as the day goes on, shit just gets in between you and that dot. And then you and that dot get further away. And it's harder to hear yourself. And that's why sometimes like midday when I'm trying to get ideas, I'll smoke and try to block everything out and just go in, get back to that. You know what I'm saying?
Midday meditation.
Yeah, meditate. Because you block everything else out.
That's why a meditation in the morning, when you have that, as you would say, the 2 dots are together, right? There's no rain on your windshield and you can see straight through that. Boom. Then you last longer.
Yeah.
The windshield doesn't get as... the dots stay closer together longer. I mean, the day, at least for me, that's been my experience.
Bro, I lose trades when I don't meditate in the morning.
Yeah.
So I hate that that's the way it is, but I don't because it's like if that's that easy to just do that and I'm going to make better decisions.
Because I want to talk about meditation for a little bit, and you guys have been meditating, so I think we can all comment on this. But Sam Harris describes meditation as we're not meditating to be a meditator, right? We're trying to achieve a state of meditation throughout every moment because meditation is just being aware.
Right.
And so through the day, as you start to lose awareness of where you're at in your thoughts, because you're just getting tired and more experiences to comprehend and think of that the meditation is like doing, he says it the best, I think, like doing a curl, building that muscle stronger. So it doesn't matter that there's so much stuff in there that you can bring it back. I mean, has that been your experience with
100%.
the practice so far?
Definitely.
Like you're not meditating to be a meditator, you're meditating to achieve that clarity longer throughout the day.
But I do sometimes meditate to think about specific things. Do you ever do that?
and if something's really bothering me, I'll I'll know, like, maybe I had a client blow up on me, something go different, right? And it should bother me. I'll meditate, not to think on it, but to let the thought play out. Like, just let everything play itself out, so that way it's exhausted, it's gone.
You mentioned a bad experience. Do you do it with good things too, like to come up with new ideas?
Yeah, I think with new ideas, I like to clear it and let them just come.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to meditate. I like to think about something, write it in my journal, and then I'll literally journal as I'm meditating, because I'll get in. But now
that you say that, I'm like, well, that's something I could try, right? Because it's really just learning how to operate your brain.
I think sometimes people people think you have to sit there in silence to meditate. Like I think if you just get that to that place of stillness, that's like you're saying what it is. If you can get to that stillness, then you can get closer to that inner voice, and then I feel like I'm connecting. I feel like I'm tapping into myself of what I'm supposed to be thinking. Mm-hmm. That's the best way. That's that's literally what I'm supposed to be thinking.
Yep.
It doesn't feel foggy.
Right.
So then, like, whatever I'm thinking, like those ideas, like for a video, like that video that I'm going to shoot maybe tomorrow or whatever for the YouTube, like that idea came kind of from meditating. It was like in the meditation, I was thinking, what do people need? That was what I went into it with. Was what do people need?
That was, I think, so that between.
It's an interesting thing.
Can I?
Yeah.
So between, I think in that state, yes, it's a very common thing. But I think what that is a deep state of thinking.
Right.
Because I think in meditation, you're trying.
Thinkitating.
Yeah. You're thinkitating. Yeah,
exactly.
That's like a think a tank. Whatever that is, let's brand that.
I
right
like
there.
that.
Thinkitating's already a thing. I think your brother was just telling me about it.
Man, I've never heard it before.
He
It sounds
was saying
awesome.
that I thinkitate.
Yeah. I think that's different, because I think meditation, what I'm doing is I'm trying not to get lost in any thought.
Right.
I'm trying to stay out of the car.
I just look at them as different types of meditation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I just want to make a difference of that, because now people think if I want to meditate, I need to focus. I need to come into something. No, you don't.
Right.
You need to come in with nothing. That's where I think it's important for everybody. Because anyone who says meditation is not for me, that means not paying attention to yourself isn't for you.
Well, for some people, they don't want to do that.
Maybe, but then you started to ask Rylee's question of why.
Well, my answer is it ain't my problem. I like helping people. I like talking.
But I like helping people.
Yeah,
and I like them
But I
figuring
like
it out.
talking to the people.
How comes you don't want to talk to yourself? Right. I like to ask people that. Like, I would love. Right. When I literally have friends.
See, I don't.
And
I don't want to ask anybody that. I don't want anybody's weight like that. I'm gonna leave them all to you. Because I feel like that's
more
heavy.
me and you.
Yeah,
that's so heavy to me. I would rather.
It's not heavy.
Once you handle them,
Yeah.
send them to me. Because then when we can conversate on it and talk about it, then I'm all about it. But like, tell me, why don't you want to confront your inner demons? Nope, that's heavy, bro. I got to take my bag off and sit down. Like, that shit is heavy.
It is heavy.
I have too many other things in my mind.
But it goes back to your characteristics.
Yeah, it's just not
you're
me.
the data guy, so you'd rather be like, you get through it and then tell me about it. What was your experience?
right.
Give me the
What
highlights.
did you?
Right.
No, I like to get help. I like to be there to help people through that.
Yeah.
Because I don't take, because of where I'm at and how I'm doing, I don't take the weight on. I get goosebumps when I ask those questions. I know when I ask a good question or say something because I get goosebumps. I literally do. When I know if it's someone close.
You've just been, I feel like in the last couple of years, you've been open to the light. It's a couple of years. Yeah. And now you get to share the light with other people, and that's motivating, and it's exciting.
But now it's like, I know I can't give it to them.
No, but you can
So
help
I have
them
to
there.
help them find it
and
on
that's
their own.
shedding
Yeah.
the light on it,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
The room is dark in their world, and you're turning on a light.
Yeah, whoever. It doesn't matter. You just got to, because why you want to be sad?
Me, I'm going to come in and take out all those old light bulbs, put in LED, high efficient motherfucking lights, and that's what we're going to have our conversation. But me building you from the dark shack that some of these people are to getting some light in there, bro.
That.
They're
Dude,
to me, they're out on an island. They have no.
Do you know how rewarding
Of course,
that is?
of
When I
course.
send someone a book, and even if they
Definitely.
only read one page,
Definitely
right?
rewarding.
Because you go back to thoughts, that experience from that one page definitely had a trickle effect.
I definitely understand the reward in it, 100%, bro.
Yeah.
I feel my reward in different ways.
But
know?
you are doing the same thing, bro.
Different
I
way.
want to hold up.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
boost you up because you do that sometimes. You were just so hard on yourself there.
I'm not hard on myself. I just know that I don't take that weight often because I choose not
You
to.
do every day.
Why?
Every day you're helping people.
Yeah, but not that way.
but not in that
No,
way.
but
Don't
you
tell me
are.
about your inner demons.
No. But because of how people have to perform and what they do in the
Sure.
trade, they have to find all this stuff out to be successful. So you already shown them by introducing them to this.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
they
yeah.
look- they're listening
but
to
I
this
don't
right
take
now.
it. But I don't take it.
Yeah.
I don't talk to them individually. I can't do that. That's not my
Yeah.
role. My role isn't to do that.
Right.
Rylee
Well,
gets paid to do
your
that.
role
'cause
is not
that's
to
her
hard
role is-
ask a hard question, but you are opening the door.
Oh,
to
I'm
that
opening the door,
experience.
100%.
I feel like, and then they get pushed to me.
Bro, I'm opening the door
And
to
I deal with
financial
Dude,
independence for
the
all
way
these
you
people.
guys have this set up to help people, I mean, I can see it because now look, I'm family. I've been in it, and I know it.
And you know how much money we made?
That don't even matter. Just seeing the impact.
It does.
The impact, right?
The money is the determining factor of the impact. If you don't make money, you
Okay, but
probably can't have an impact.
But you have impact because
Yeah,
you have
but
an
you've
audience.
had that conversation before. I totally disagree with you. You can make an impact without making money.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Dude, I'm just made an impact
Yes,
on
look
whoever
at-
just
look at
heard
the
this.
last-
Not a
Look-
sizable impact, my friend.
What define sizable? If you change somebody's life without making any money, you wouldn't classify that as a sizable impact?
No, it definitely is. But I'm
Okay.
talking about way more. Way bigger impact.
Okay, but I think different types of impact.
Sure,
About. Yeah,
100%.
you can't feed the hungry by saying you need to go meditate.
You can't motivate this is the most important one that you don't learn until you're on my side of the fence, which we all are. You can't motivate, you can't get me to give up my skill, what I'm good at, unless you financially incentivize me. So I can't even give to my fullest extent unless there's a financial incentive because it's financially driven. So it's like there has to be money involved for me in that business to make an impact because I think it's so financially driven. I think that's for a lot of people too. So when I value my time at a certain amount of money and it's working time to motivate me, to make me want to feel like I can give my best to help that person, I think the financial piece is a big piece. I think you need money to make an impact.
I can see where you're going.
You give me 300 grand, I'm going to do a lot of good. You give me 30 grand,
but that's just
I'm
you.
not doing anything. Like nothing. I'm gonna save that money and I'm gonna try to live and survive with my family.
Okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
No, okay, so the way you're thinking about impact is you're saying there has to be enough for left to get past the everyday survival.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
That's for sure different than your impact on a financial basis to be able to give someone food and shelter. Yeah, okay, but what if they already have that and they're still sad, right? Like because
I don't
of
know
what
if that's
they're
my
doing.
problem.
Okay,
You know?
let's draw a scenario here.
Yeah.
We'll say that there is an Alan. And Alan is the owner of, we'll just say in this world, a company like Amazon. Big company. Alan is thriving. Okay, well, let's backtrack. What got Alan to build that company? It was some conversation. We'll just say it was a conversation that he had with a man that had absolutely nothing. Whatever this man said that had absolutely nothing, like he spoke to this man, Alan, and Alan, because
Definitely
of what
an
he
impact.
said, built this business. This
Definitely.
man right here, this
Huge
has
impact,
nothing.
no money.
Right, no
100%.
money.
But that's not the
look,
context that I was
huge
speaking about.
impact.
You understand? You
Well,
understand
your
what I'm saying?
context, but that's what I'm saying. You've got to zoom out bigger than that.
You do, but let me play both sides to it. You do, but you don't. You actually need to go the opposite way of whatever you just described. I would call zooming out, saying, well, shit, I got this much money and I can do this much good. Let me get more money and I can do even more good. I can open a real charity. I can open a real school. I can really do
It's like
good.
you're talking about the impact of like Alan and his business
Bingo.
after it's successful
Not-
and then continuing
You're
to give back.
in that story. You're the homeless guy to me, and I'm Alan. That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
your homeless person.
That impact creates everything else that is actual impact. To maybe I'm looking at it on the timeline of human history. Like that's where I'm looking for my impact. Like you said, the legacy thing, the big thing, what we started this whole conversation about, big shit with your life. That's where I see impact. I agree with you, but you get what I'm saying.
But the impacts are small, so an impact doesn't. You're
100%.
measuring an impact. To make an impact, it can
impact can be very small.
It
Like
can be
the
small
homeless
because
guy.
that was a trickle effect in her
100%.
story, right?
100%.
So it was still impact.
Yeah, but
It's
you
how
get what I-
measure it. But
what I meant it in that
that context is important
100%.
because people try to measure happiness. Well, I don't have that much happiness because I don't have that much wealth.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think money makes you.
No, but in terms of a measure, right? Because I'm talking about all this stuff is just about getting 1% better. Mm-hmm. So if you think, oh, I don't have the abs, I can't touch my toes, I don't do yoga, whatever. Yeah, but you need small impact. You need a small gain, a 1% difference to where you can get to that point.
100%.
Yeah, so I think that.
But that's just not how when you say impact to me, I don't define it like that.
Yeah.
My impact to the people that pay me for coaching or the people that I do one-on-ones with, or how about the free time I give to the Facebook calls every day. That impact is small. But when I look at impact, I don't think of those things instantly. What I think of is the impact of ASFX as a whole unit on the trading community. What is that image looking like?
But
not the daily tasks of
but
impact.
all those daily tasks
Make the bigger impact. 100%. Not going to disagree. But when we were talking about it in that moment,
no, I got
I'm
it.
saying,
No, yeah.
listen, I'm trying to start a charity that's called the Austin Silver Charity of Money Making or something like that. And like that's impact. We ain't going to do that if we're broke, bro. We need to eat. We need to take our
Right. In
vacations.
that
We need to
moment
do
when
our
you heard
shit,
it-
and we need money to do that.
Yep.
It's money.
When you heard impact, you thought what you want your impact
School,
to be.
charity, take over a country,
but when I'm
city
think-
like Akon City, Austin City. You know what I'm saying? Impact. That's impact. But it starts with the small stuff.
That's your impact.
It starts with the small stuff. I couldn't even think about these things if we don't get the small stuff right,
Well,
which is what we're doing now.
Right.
We've had a year of getting the small stuff really, really, really good.
That's all this is about.
Yeah,
That's even
getting
for
this-
yourself.
right.
Even through Corona, right? Getting the small stuff.
And
like,
then you
did
can get
drink
better.
water today?
Even the small stuff in yoga. Like first I was just doing the leg to here, and then I get the leg to here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just the small stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get better over time. You just
But
got to
if
keep
you
at it.
start to pay attention to those small wins, then you like get excited for them.
Yeah, bro. You're like, damn, I look good. I got my leg
Like
kicked
the
out
big wins
here.
aren't even like you're like, of course, because I got all them small ones.
I think Akon was saying, he was like, I never even really sit back to think about the fact that I'm building this city and that he's having that much impact and bringing electricity to 500 million people.
You can't because you gotta be in the.
He's like, I didn't think. He's like, I'm doing the smaller impacts on the smaller basis that he's focused on, or what gets that kind of stuff done. You know what I'm saying?
Just watching Mike Tyson in that video and how he's changed and how he said it's like I just need everything to go right and be the way because like that for him to be that great every moment he's got every moment he can't skip a beat and that because
when you watch that video, bro,
difference.
there's something in his
If you-
eye that he looks like he's ready to kill somebody.
Yeah, but-
like he's,
but-
Gonna eat Joe
he is
across
locked
the
in, bro.
table.
For sure,
He is
for those who
locked
don't
in.
know.
That was not the Joe interview before where he's like, Joe, I love pigeons.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Remember?
So for those that don't know, Mike Tyson was on Joe Rogan's podcast twice,
Yeah.
I think, within the last year or so.
Yeah.
And the first time he was so...
I would say the other one was maybe like a year or two ago.
Yeah, maybe.
But he was super loopy then. Like he was super nice
he was
and
so
coming out of.
zenned out, and he's like, I don't even want to try to exercise or fight.
I don't even remember that life.
Because it will make me I want that back again. He wanted to let go of it.
To let
but
the
now,
demons out.
But you could see in his like he's
Bro,
aware
the demons are out.
they're out, dude. This
He's
fight's
gonna
be
kill
big.
that guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill that guy.
He's
That
gonna
is
bite
the-
his ear off.
That is the surest bet. But remember when he was
That's
even
what he's
just
saying. To
saying,
be that good, you have to be.
you have to be.
That's what I'm saying. But I saw it in his eyes. He's aware that he is the way that he is right now.
100%.
But he won't turn it off because he knows he wants to win.
He's gonna win.
And he's so in the
That's a
moment,
bet, bro. We should bet on it.
but he's so in the moment of, I need to be great.
But when he said how like the adrenaline and the intensity is so built up for so long, like look, it's 2 months out from the fight and he's this intense. If he knocks this guy out in 30 seconds, like what do you do with all that energy?
Yeah, the way he was talking about that.
Yeah,
He's
like
not-
you do go kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like you do. Like he
Yeah.
probably
That's because humans don't know how to release their energies of
Maybe
their
he does now.
emotions,
Maybe
'cause
he'll
they
do
don't even
some-
know how to feel
maybe he'll do
what they're
some
feeling.
David Blaine CO2 breathing and he'll calm down
Yeah, breathe
afterwards.
through your nose. I think I was just mouth breathing.
Well, listen,
How are we doing on
yeah,
time?
we got to go.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This is good.
I feel like we just scratched the surface. This could be a long one.
I know. We got it. Well, we'll see if you end up moving down here. If you move down here, then we could do a weekly
Easy.
show.
Yeah, a weekly show. I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could rent out so you could move in here. You could take a 2-bedroom. We could get another one, just like a 1-bedroom, and just make it a studio. Like literally just rent it out here and just make it
Start
a
taking
studio
the-
to film.
You know what? We need a whole building.
Yeah.
We need the whole building.
Yeah, I mean, if Eric comes down here,
Yeah.
we'd do.
Yeah, the whole gang just lives in a whole building.
Why not?
We got a couple rooms.
Why not?
Studios, an art studio. So
They
you
do
can-
it out in California. They got
Um,
all these I was gonna say Viners, the TikTokers. They all live in the same houses in California. All their parents let them do that. They're like 16, 17, 18. Bro,
They're figuring it
they're
out.
they're
And
wrong.
just
They're-
backing off each other.
yeah,
Boom,
but
boom,
California,
boom,
you don't
boom.
want to be with
No,
everything
no,
going
no.
on. You want to be here. This is
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you want to
yeah.
be. Or
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah,
So
man.
we're in a good spot.
It's good.
Well, I'm glad we did this,
Fan,
bro.
love you.
I'm glad we did this, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rye, you didn't say enough. To be honest, you should have talked more.
I said in the beginning, y'all are gonna talk, and I'm
Yeah,
just
but
gonna
look,
sit
that's-
here.
No, I think
Look.
Ryan. I think I actually let Ryan talk more than me this time.
Secret
It's
code.
because I get pumped, dude. I
If
get
you're
pumped.
this far into the episode, the secret code is #smile.
Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Love that.
everybody.
See ya. Peace.